know that most of the country artists you know and love today got their starts in places called honky tonks? That's right. Patsy Cline, Ernest Tubb, all of them. Honky tonks are an important stop in the careers of some of the brightest country stars. And the music you'll find in honky tonks is like none other on the American landscape. Designed to get your feet tapping and your mind off your troubles, this is music you can't sit down to. Hosted by Bill Anderson, this series features tons of your favorite country music legends as they tell their favorite honky tonk stories, sing their favorite honky tonk songs, all on a collection we're calling Country's Family Reunion Honky Tonk. Come on in.
Ray Pilla, you've kept the honky tonk shuffle type music going at the Grand Ole Opry for a long, long time. When you come out this, many times you're on the Opry late in the show. I know when we used to do 2 shows a lot on Saturday night, you'd come out there about 11 o'clock and boy, you'd launch into some of those great old shuffles. It just wake us all up. I mean,
I always
so
loved
good to
doing
hear
those
you do
songs.
that.
I always loved them. Old Bob Wills stuff.
But now you grew up in Virginia,
I did.
so how were you influenced by that kind of music?
You know, I don't know. My family, everybody in my family had instruments. There was always, at my grandmother's house, there was always instruments laying across the bed or somewhere. And none of them could pick too good, but they had the instruments. Anyway, my uncle had a little band up there in Lynchburg, and he came one day to my house and he said, and I was a grown man at the time. At this time, I was out of the service and back home, and he came over to the house one day and he said, I gotta ask you to do something for me. And I said, well, what? Because he's the one that taught me how to play guitar, what little I know about it. But anyway, I said, what do you need? He said, I need you to fill in for my lead singer tonight. We were playing the VFW or one of these places. And I said, oh, no, man, I can't do that. Anyway, he taught me into it, and it was, after that first night on stage, it was all over, you know. It's what I had to do, you know. I didn't know about all these honky tonks at the time.
Well, you got to Nashville by winning a talent contest.
Well, I came to Nashville and performed in a talent contest. I didn't win it. I went back home, went back to school. And,
oh, I thought you won it.
I came in second. Farron Young told me I came in second, so I don't know whether I did or not.
Was he one of the judges?
I think so.
No telling where you came in.
I know it.
The judges.
But anyway, that's what really got me interested in really in making a living in the music business.
Yeah.
You know? Here's that little medley I'm gonna do, guys. Please don't leave me anymore, darling. Partings are so sad, my dear. You're the only one that I love, darling. Can't you see that I'm sincere? We were once so happy, dear, happy as could be. Now that we've got things patched up, please stay here with me and love me like you did before, darling. 'Cause I'm so in love with you. Here we go. I don't want to make you dance for nothing. right here is where I'm supposed to come in. The kind of love I can't forget, dear, was the love you gave to me. I had my chance and now I suffer. My heart is filled with misery. So why not take me back again, dear? We could live so happily. The kind of love I can't forget, dear, was the love you gave to me. Tonight in a ballroom I'm sitting, apart from the laughter and the cheers. The scenes of my life come before me, while watching the bubbles in my beer. A vision of someone to love me brings a lone and silent tear into my eyes. I know that my life's been a failure, while watching the bubbles in my beer. While I'm watching the bubble in my beer. Bandera Wall. Thank you.
Hey. Great job, man.
Thank you.
Great job from Ray Pilla. Country's Family Honky Tonk Reunion will continue after this. Thanks, man. Break time.
Don't go away. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Right.
Becky Hobbs, is this your first time to be with us on a family reunion?
This
well,
is my
welcome.
first
We're
time.
glad to have you. You picked a
Thank
good show
you.
to be here.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
You had a hit record on a song about a jukebox and I guess a honky tonk type song.
Right. In fact, I'll be doing it shortly. Yeah, it's interesting, though. Everyone's talking about how they started out in the honky tonks. I actually started out as a rocker. I started my own all-girl band when I was 15 years old in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, and we were just totally wild. And our dads would drive us to gigs before we were old enough to even drive. And it wasn't until I moved out to Los Angeles. I moved out to LA to be a rock singer, and every time I opened my mouth, people would say, "You're a country singer." And I'd say, "Well, I guess I am." And I got more and more country the longer I lived in Los Angeles, and I added pedal steel to my band, and I was out there during the urban cowboy craze. And I played a place called, some of y'all have probably played the OK Corral in Lakeview Terrace. It was a wild place. A lot of the stunt people in movies would ride their horses out there and listen to us. And then I remember one night a guy was really mad because some guy's horse kicked his Mercedes. Oh. And then it was pretty wild.
Yeah,
and even the women would fight out there. I remember one night a woman got mad at another woman and wrapped her in toilet paper and like lit it on fire. And fortunately, they put out the flames really fast. And another night, a guy killed a rattlesnake out in the parking lot and put it on my piano stool. It was dead, but you know, I guess he wanted to impress me. And then I also played the Palomino out there, the Ranch in Garden Grove, the Roundup in Chatsworth. And one of my favorite gigs was the Ranch in Garden Grove. The owner of the club, Rocky, hired me to sing for 30 minutes before the wet T-shirt contest every Tuesday night. I look back on it and I think, God, I'm amazed I didn't get booed off the stage. And then I went over so well that he hired me to sing for 30 minutes every Thursday before the female mud wrestling contest. So that's when I started playing the honky tonks, was pretty much in the mid 70s and late 70s.
It's better than chicken bingo.
Did you play piano back in those days when you were playing that kind of music in those places?
Did I what?
Did you play piano?
Yes, I was. So maybe that's why, people didn't throw things at me, because I had protection there. It's funny because I started writing songs when I was 9 years old in Bartlesville, and pretty much my whole career I've mostly done my own songs. I've done some of the standards and such, but I just sort of... Actually, one of my first chart records was Honky Tonk Saturday Night back in, I think, 1979. And that's when I was playing a lot of the Texas honky tonks. And I always really felt at home writing the honky tonks, though, because, nobody judged you, and, we could all share our heartbreaks and have a good time.
Did you write the song about George Jones on the jukebox?
Yeah, I co-wrote the song with the late great wild man, Mac Vickery, and Don Goodman. And the interesting thing is the three of us were not in the same room at the same time. I had a Sunday morning writing appointment with Don Goodman. He was the first big songwriter that would write with me when I first moved to Nashville 32 years ago. And he and Mac Vickery had started the song in the bar room at the Hall of Fame motel down on Division Street. They had started it, and Don Goodman, I showed up for the writing appointment, and that was the day that I got the nickname Beckaroo. He said I came bouncing in tight blue jeans and red cowboy boots, and he said, "What's happening, Beckaroo?" And then he said, "Hey, old Mac Vickery and I started this song last night," and he sang like the first two lines of the chorus. "I've got Jones on the jukebox and you on my mind," and then he started La La La, and I went to an old upright piano down on Music Row where Lobo, the songwriter, You and Me and a Dog Named Boo, he had a publishing company there. And we started working on the song. He said, "Well, I better call old Vic and see if this is okay." And he called Mac Vickery and he said, "Hey, a girl named Beckaroo and I are finishing this song that we started last night. Is that okay with you?" And he said, "Right on, rock on." So that's how we wrote the song.
Wow. How about doing it for us?
Certainly.
Becky Hobbs, Beckaroo.
And this girl
Alrighty.
is never,
Yeah.
ever going to grow up. Doesn't she still look like she's 15?
Oh, please.
And that's a good
Thank you.
thing. That's a good thing.
Just takes me a little longer to look this way. Is this on? Check one. Oh, yeah. All righty, y'all ready? Y'all want to dance? There's a fool in the mirror looking back across the bar. Reflections of a woman whose world just fell apart. Now the life we built together and the golden rings are gone. And his whiskey versus memories, and it looks like the race is on. And I've got Jones on the jukebox and you on my mind. I'm slowly going crazy, a quarter at a time. He stopped loving her today, oh, but I'm still doing time. I've got Jones on the jukebox and you on my mind. Well, the cowboys in the corner are making eyes at me, but I just wanna be alone with your memory. Now the music's good and country, and the whiskey's feeling right. You won't be back, but George and Jack will help me through the night. And I've got Jones on the jukebox and you on my mind. I'm slowly going crazy, a quarter at a time. He
Becky Hobbs, I don't know if the camera got a shot of that or not, but I mean, your left foot was going. You could have flattened a penny like a railroad car stomping that foot. Is that just come natural to you to feel the music?
I'm so used to sitting at the keys doing it, so I don't really realize I'm doing it up here. So,
how did you and Mo Bandy team up to sing together?
well, this is really a great story. My grandma Hobbs was serving donuts and coffee in Coffeyville, Kansas at my aunt and uncle's donut shop. And the guy that booked the Coffeyville Fair and Rodeo would come in there every morning and flirt with my grandma Hobbs. And he came in one morning, he said, well, we've got Mo Bandy singing at the fair this year, and we're looking for a girl singer to open the show. And Grandma Hobbs says, my granddaughter sings. And that's how I got on the show, and that's how I met you.
That's right. That's right. We did the show that night at the fair, and I had a song that I'd found, and I carried it around with me for a long time, a duet with a lady. And we did the fair that night, and I told Becky, I said, I have a song. We ought to cut it. And we cut this song, and it's a big record for us.
It was, and I want to thank you for that, Mo, because
You're
this
very
was my
welcome.
first top 10 entrance into country music.
Becky was just full of energy. We did a lot of shows together, and she would brighten up the room. I mean, and I noticed she hasn't changed a bit.
Oh.
She just,
Thank you.
just like you were years ago.
Thank you.
Great.
What we got to do to get you to sing the song?
I bet we can do it. Twist my arm and we'll do it. You got it.
All right, this was written by Keith Stigall and Charlie Craig.
That's right. I don't know if we can make it, but baby, let's give it a good try.
We're both coming off of losing, and it ain't easy telling love goodbye.
You don't look a thing like her, and I don't guess I'd measure up to him. Oh, but then maybe together we can get each other over them. Let's get over them together
And burn two old
memories. Let's get over them together. I'll help you and you help me.
I'm so glad we found each other. We both need someone to hold tonight.
So lay your head on my shoulder. We'll go somewhere that's out of sight.
Before this night is over, who knows who losers might win and smile again.
Maybe together we can get each other over them. Let's get over them together
And burn two old
memories. Let's get over them together. I'll help you and you help me. Let's get over them together. Thank you.
Did you play on that record? The great Leon Rhodes, who was with the Ernest Stubb Texas Troubadours for so many years.
Yeah, Leon. Tell them about the acoustic guitar instead of electric. Tell them how you used acoustic guitar. Talked Ernest into it. Right?
Well, he was going to do that waltz across Texas, and he looked at me and said, "You got the intro." And I said, "Well, I can't play the guitar, the electric guitar on that one." And he said, "What?" And I said, "Why can't you?" And I said, "Because I'm hearing a flat top playing." And he said, Well, son, go ahead and do it your way.
And the rest is history.
How many years did you play with Ernest Tubb?
103.
He's still playing with him.
No, I worked with him about 9 years.
And I would venture to say probably 85 to 90% of the jobs that you played were in the honky tonks, weren't they? 'Cause,
Most of them, yes.
Yeah.
We did play a lot of shows, though.
but you guys were known in those days. I mean, you were the band. You were the band that every band tried to be because of the great music that you played. And you not only backed up Ernest, but my goodness, you had a guy named Jack Green in the band and one named Cal Smith and y'all just...
Buddy Charlton.
Buddy Charlton, yeah. You guys made...
Buddy Emmons, he was there.
I noticed you got a guitar sitting next to you, so before this honky tonk salute is over, we're going to hear Leon Rhodes play some guitar, right?
I'm going to play a little bit.
There's no way you play just a little bit. Man plays a lot. Yeah. Tony, how about another song from you? And I see Leon's come up and gotten the guitar again.
This song had to
It's
be on
been
the list.
interesting listening to everybody talk about the chicken wire and stuff. And I never actually worked in one that had chicken wire, but I was in a play for a couple of years that was about a chicken ranch.
Woohoo, yeah,
I'd have to be from Texas to understand that one.
yeah.
But in the early days, though, we don't have a lot of fighting, in our age group. Somebody challenges your manhood, you invite him to do a spelling bee. But I remember in the early days, the steel players would only have about 2 threads on one of their legs of their steel so they could undo it and use it for a club. So I don't know if the steel players still do that or not. We did an Ernest Tubb song. We did a tribute album, The Heart of Texas Records, on this would have been Ernest's 100th birthday this year. And I did a little thing called Walking the Floor of You. And the great Leon Rhodes here with us. You left me and you went away. Said that you'd be back in just a day. You broke in your promise and you left me here alone. I don't know why you did, dear, but I do know that you're gone. I'm walking the floor over you. Can't slip away, that is true. Well, I'm hoping and I'm praying as my heart breaks right in two. Walking that floor over you. On pick it, boy. Well, darling, you know I love you well. Love you more than words can ever tell. Well, I thought that you wanted me and always would be mine. But you went and left me here with troubles on my mind. I'm walking the floor over you. Can't slip away, that is true. Well, I'm hoping and I'm praying as my heart breaks right in two. Walking that floor over you. One more time. Now someday you may be lonesome too. Walking that floor is good for you. But just keep right on walking and it won't hurt you to cry. Remember that I love you and I will the day I die. I'm walking the floor over you. Can't sleep away, that is true. Well, I'm hoping and I'm praying as my
heart breaks right in two. Walking that floor over you. I'm just walking that floor over you.
Great job, Tony. Tony Booth. Leon, how does it feel to play that song again?
I love it.
Oh, man, those signature licks. Nobody makes them sound quite like you do.
Oh, bless you.
You played them for all of those years. And, of course, you teamed up with Buddy Charlton on a lot of that. Mike Johnson did a pretty good Buddy Charlton impersonation.
Oh, yeah.
Curtis Potter, you're from Texas.
I sure am.
Now, did you work with Hank Thompson?
I did for 13 years.
Oh, yeah. Well, you were a Brazos Valley boy?
I was. We were called everything back then. A guy way up north one time introduced us as Frank Tomlin and the Brazos River Valley Boys. But no, like I said, I was with Hank for 13 years, and we played a lot of fights. And a lot of times a dance would break out, you know.
Well, Hank had the really, after Bob Wills, I guess, in his heyday, Hank Thompson really had the definitive country western swing dance band in Texas. I mean, the Brazos Valley Boys, every year they'd win the band of the year. And,
yeah, we were the #1 band like for 13 years.
The whole 13 you were there?
Well, we had, when I first started, it was like 9 pieces. And then when I left, we had 4. I remember Tony Booth had the band at the Palomino Club in Los Angeles. And we played there, and we were like down to 4 pieces, and one of the guys got sick that night and couldn't make it. And so we walked in, and Tony Booth had a great band. I mean, a great band. And it's only 3 of us, the Brazos Valley Boys. And I said, I'm not going on, because they cut us 9 kinds of ways, you know. But no, those were fun days along.
What instrument did you play in the band?
Pardon me?
What instrument did you play?
Well, it's funny. I started off when they first hired me playing guitar. And we went to Jackson Hole, Wyoming for 2 weeks. And came back, and the bass man quit, and Billy Gray called me in and said, well, we're not going to use a guitar player anymore. And I said, well, that's over for me. He said, but we do need a bass player. I said, well, I don't know how to play bass. He said, we'll teach you. I said, well, I'll give it a whirl. So they called California and had Leo Fender ship us a bass and amp to Tulsa, Oklahoma. And we went up and played Kane's Academy, and that's the first time I had a bass in my hand. I played a job. Yeah. And we were, from that night, we were on our way to California for a week or so. And Hank said, I want you to get with somebody out in California, kind of help you out on the bass a little bit. And I said, well, sure. And we got out there, and I said, who'd you want me to see? He said, Merle Travis.
Yeah.
So I went to Merle Travis's house and stayed for 3 days. Wow. And when I come back, played the next job, Hank said, damn, boy. Merle Travis was a genius at teaching people, you know. So
Right.
that's how I come up to play the bass.
Wow. Well, Hank played a lot of his own lead, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he played.
So he could get by without the lead guitar player, but needed the bass player.
Yeah, but we still carried the 2 or 3 fiddles, you know.
Boy, when he carried that big band with the horns, and I mean, I saw him one time with like a 13-piece orchestra.
Yeah,
band.
I was
just amazing.
You know, when Dubert Dobson was playing trumpet and all that, that was such a thrill for me.
I think you're going to do a Hank Thompson song, aren't
I'd
you?
love to. You
Please
bet.
do.
All right.
Curtis Potter.
All right, boys.
You wouldn't read my letter if I wrote you. You asked me not to call you on the phone. But there's something I'm wanting to tell you. So I wrote it in the words of this song. I didn't know God made honky tonk angels. I might have known you'd never make a wife. You gave up the only one that ever loved you and went back to the wild side of life. Oh yeah. The gay nightlife has lured you to the places where the wine and liquor flow, where you wait to be anybody's baby and forget the truest love you'll ever know. I didn't know God made honky tonk angels. Well, I might have known you'd never make a wife. You gave up the only one that ever loved you and went back to the wild side of life. Bless you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks, Bill.
Curtis Potter.
Far across deep blue water lived an old German's daughter. By the banks of the old river Rhine, there I loved her and left her, and now I can't forget her. She was my pretty Fräulein. Everybody, Fräulein, Fräulein, look up toward the heavens, pretend that your hand is holding mine. By the same stars above you, I swear that I love you. I love my pretty Fräulein. My memories wander away over yonder to that sweetheart that I left behind. In a moment of glory, her face there before me, the face of my pretty Fräulein. Fräulein, Fräulein, walk down by the river. Pretend that your hand is holding mine. There I loved her and left her. Now I can't forget her. I love my pretty Fräulein. I love my pretty Fräulein.
You know, Bill, we've done a lot of these shows together, but I've never seen the band play any better or happier and smiling as much as they are through this show.
Yeah.
Because
This is the music they
Honky
love.
Tonks and they know what it is. Thank you very much.
That's great. Jim Ed Brown. The band was looking so forward to this show. This is the one I think of all the shows we've done, I've never seen y'all as excited about doing one, because I know this is so much of the kind of music that y'all like to play. David Ball, you came along right at the tail end of the time when a country singer could have a hit on the radio with a real, what I call a country honky tonk song.
Yeah.
And there haven't been a lot of them since you had the song about the thinking problem.
Yes, that's right.
On the radio.
They would, we were trying to get it going, and the guy would introduce me as the man that's going to set country music back 50 years. But for some reason, the record label made them stop saying that. I thought, well, that's true. That's true, because...
well, were they saying that as a compliment?
Yes, of course. Golly, man.
Put it back where it belongs.
That's the...
Was Thinking Problem, was that your very first record after you got
Yeah, I
there?
did a record on another label, but, it wasn't, I was a barroom singer. And to come into a studio and try to sing with headphones on, I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't do it. And finally got comfortable, and people showed me some tricks how to do it. And,
Did you hang a neon sign that said live show or mechanical bull?
Exactly. We tried everything, man.
Tip jar.
Whatever worked.
Big tip jar.
Hey, Bill, I remember whenever the first time he played the Grand Ole Opry, he had the hit song, The Thinking Problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I was about to introduce him, and he said, Jim Ed, it's thinking problem, not drinking.
It's not a problem, it's problem.
Problem. Yeah, I don't understand that.
Or did the writers write it that way? Or was
I wrote it.
Oh.
I reckon he did.
I guess you can do it any way you want to.
Yeah.
Well,
Do I say problem? You're going to mess me up now. I have to sing it. Do I say problem?
Well, that was a great hook, a great little gimmick on the song.
Well, it's just a mixture of about 5 great songs, isn't it? All turned up and shook up, and that's what came out. Alan Shamlin had the idea. He said, David, what do you think about a song called Thinking Problem? And I said, well, does it go like this, Alan? And we were off. So I had that song for about 5 years.
Wow.
And couldn't get it arrested, couldn't get anybody to cut it. Even my publisher hated it. But he changed his mind. It became one of his favorite songs. Yes, I admit I got a thinking problem. She's always on my mind. Her memory goes round and round. I tried to quit 1,000 times. Yeah, I admit I got a thinking problem. Fill the glass up to the top. I'll start with loving her. Oh, but I don't know when to stop. I wake up and right away her name is on my lips. Once a memory starts to flow, well, I can't stop with just one sip. Yes, I admit I got a thinking problem. She's always on my mind. Her memory the top. I'll start with loving her. Oh, but I don't know when to stop. Stoned all day long on my favorite memory. Yes, I admit I got a thinking problem. She's always on my mind. Her memory goes round and round. I tried to quit 1,000 times. Yes, I admit I got a thinking problem. Fill the glass up to the top. I'll start with loving her. Oh, but I don't know when to stop. I'll start with loving her. But I don't know when to stop.
Thank you all so much, yeah.
David Ball.
Hey,